Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Giangelo's, right off of 224 in Boardman. DJ Yoakley, David Rach, the head coach of the South Range Football Raiders. I'm sorry, the undefeated South Range Football Raiders. You can sit there and be modest all day. I'm allowed to gloat. I'm allowed to gloat a little bit. Coach, congratulations. Obviously, a huge game. Everybody had their eyes on this one. For you, you had to treat it as just another game. You talked about it last week. But when you get to that game, I'm down on the sidelines. Usually there's a little bit of hustle and bustle, some smiles, shaking hands, kissing babies, all that. Buddy, everybody was laser eye, locked in. Even you, coming off the field, it was a business trip in your own stadium. What was that like for you? From the kickoff all the way through the end of the game?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're playing an any 8 game, I think, it takes an extra level of focus or attention to detail during the weekend on game day. I thought our kids did a good job of really showing up to the facility on Friday locked in, and we knew what a challenge we had in front of us, and we knew, what it was going to take in order to win that game. So definitely one of the more exciting games, I think, that we've had in a number of years, but definitely feels good.
I mean, you look at that, everybody's saying, okay, Struthers is coming to town. The last few games have been, decided by a score or a play here or there. Domination. I mean, we saw Devin Bram's the real deal. I don't think anybody's going to take away. You told me leading into that game, you're going to see a really good running back, probably the best that we're going to see along the lines for the last year or so. He did not disappoint. He is the real deal. To game plan around that young man, and obviously a big offensive line, how did you guys cut through? How did you limit him? And obviously he got his yards, but how did you limit him off the scoreboard?
I think we just kind of the same stuff we always do, right? We were trying to pay attention to detail in terms of being, gap sound and getting as many hats to the ball as we could. We talked all week about how patient he was and how well he was in between the tackles in terms of leg drive and finding seams. So I thought that the kids did a really good job. Part of the issue with them is it's kind of hard to find him, just because the offensive line is so big that, oftentimes he gets kind of lost in the shuffle in there. And then when you do find him, he's up on you, and he's a strong kid. He's there in a hurry. So just tried to rally and defend him, with 11 guys and do the best we could in terms of limiting the impact that he was able to make. But obviously he got his. He's a great player, and they're a great team.
We saw throughout the week it was the size versus the speed, the size versus the skill, the size versus this, that, the other. When it boiled down to it, yes, they were able to counterpunch. It was 7-6 for a minute there. What was the sideline like whenever they scored? I mean, there was almost a sense of calm. It reminded me a lot of the state championship back in 22 when Ironton scored immediately, like the counterpunch, and then you guys, it almost like it woke you up a little bit.
Yeah, I think, from a player perspective, they were kind of, they were just rallying around each other and saying, hey, let's get back out there and play. I think we're fortunate in that we have a lot of help, on the sidelines and in the booth on Friday nights. And as a coaching staff, for the most part, we were trying to figure out, what went wrong, and kind of found out that, something that we were looking at was giving us a false key, and had to get it cleaned up a little bit. And the kids did a great job. We're really fortunate in the type of kids that we coach, and just their willingness to study during the week, that we were able to change a key really after one play and then play the rest of the game like that.
Naturally, anytime you can create turnovers, you give yourself opportunities. Your team continued to punch away the ball, strip the ball, be able to be right there at the perfect place, the perfect time, seemingly every time. For you, I mean, is it a game plan going in? Is, hey, listen, if he gets away from you, we're going ball hunting?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more just the style of football that we want to play. We talk all the time about trying to get 11 hats to the ball and, trying to get the ball out and trying to take the ball away. And, I thought the guys did a great job of that. I think, on the one fumble, on the long run, with Brom, that was, I thought, kind of indicative of the kind of character that our kids have and that our team has, where, we might have made a couple mistakes and fit the run, poorly on that play. But, it wasn't just one or two guys. We had, 11 guys trying to chase it down, and we're tackling the ball, and we got guys, bodies flying all over the place. But I felt like that was really indicative of kind of who we are as a football team.
At halftime, I've got to ask you, from your perspective, you're right there. You see that ball come out. Jimmy picks it up and goes. The dirty one where the 31 almost broke free for
Yeah.
a touchdown right before the half. I mean, for you, did you feel like we left something on the table, or were you just happy to get out of there without giving up those points?
No, I think we were just happy to kind of get out of Dodge at that point, just because of the way that drive went. They popped the long one, and then we're thinking, I'm trying to figure out, can they kick from here? Can they throw one up from here? Kind of where they're at, and then the ball comes out, and Jimmy starts going the other way. So we were joking in pregame. Jimmy said, I'm really due, because we always tell Jimmy the ball finds him, and he said, I feel like I'm due. So at halftime we joked around, and I said, well, you're still due, even though it came to you. You still got more chances. So no, it was a wild ending of the half for sure, and I think both teams were probably happy to get in the locker room and kind of regroup for a minute.
I like the fact that Jimmy still hasn't cashed in his ticket. He's
right.
still holding on to it. I like that.
He still do.
For you look at how this game ends. Obviously, dominating fashion. You were able to contain one of the best teams in this area. The respect starts coming a little bit. I mean, this was, and I haven't told anybody this outside of, my wife, the highest rated South Range game that we've ever had on YSN.
Wow, that's cool.
So when you look at that, the support, the eyes on your program now, it's real. Now the lights get a little bit brighter with some more media coming this week when the Poland Bulldogs come to town, your last home game of the regular season. I feel like I ask this every year. How do you keep your guys humble, not worried about the spotlight, not worried about the attention? There's going to be more interviews this week than ever before. How do you keep your guys focused against Poland Bulldogs?
I think just try to find ways to become immersed in the process of preparing for somebody. We know we have another great program, another tough conference game coming this week, and I think our kids really do take pride in kind of seeing the intricacies of each team that we play and understanding that it's going to take a different kind of effort, every week, and we're going to have to focus on different things and kind of maybe key different things and play a little different style of football. But I think our kids really enjoy that, and it's a credit to those guys. They've been playing a lot of ball, and I think they really do enjoy the challenge, the different challenge that each week presents.
And this is an interesting take because I was talking to Nico right before we came on the air. Before 2017, there weren't a whole lot of eyes on the South Range program at all. And then all of a sudden, now there are. You fast forward to 2024.
You know a thing or two about that, huh?
A little bit. But you look at that and you go, okay, how did things change? I mean, what these kids now are, and forgive me because I'm going to have some references here that people aren't going to like. The Raiders are now the Yankees, the Miami Hurricanes. They are the Cowboys. You're on every week. You're featured every week. There's a lot of eyes on you every single week. You are America's team, I guess the area's team for that matter. When you look at that, is that hard? Like, you're the Patriots. People want you to lose, and they're watching you just to lose. I mean, does that give you a little bit of that bulletin board material you can pin up and keep things going, or do you just sidestep that altogether?
I don't know. It's funny. We have a scouting report, defensive scouting report that we send out each week, and on it there's a picture that Nico took when he was up at a Patriots game, and one of the
Nico. Wait, before you finish, Nico's taking and videoing and taking pictures at a Patriots game. This sounds familiar.
I might be incriminating him, but
I told you we needed Connor Stallions. I didn't know we already had him.
Yeah, but one of the bullet points on it just says, block out the noise. And, it's something we talk a lot about. And, I don't know. It's funny. I guess I really don't know what the outside perception is all the time, just because I think, our staff and the kids we're worried about trying to find ways to put our best foot forward on any given Friday night. But we certainly support, whatever we get, whatever, attention we get, whether it be from media or elsewhere. We love playing in front of crowds and, and kind of being under the bright lights. I think that's a cool experience. So
message boards.
Yeah, right. It really is cool. So, it's actually was listening to Aiden talk to somebody earlier, and he was saying how cool it was to play in front of a big crowd. So, the more eyes on us, I guess, the better, and we'll keep on trying to, do our best to win games.
I talked to you, the biggest digital crowd South Range has ever had.
Yeah.
Also, one of the bigger crowds that Rominger Stadium has ever had. Did you have a chance to kind of take a look around and soak it in? Yeah,
we actually when we were talking to the kids, during our pregame speech, I said, look outside. All those people showed up to watch you play. That I felt like the best thing we could do, to try to repay them was just go out and play as hard as we could and have fun playing the game and, kind of wear our hearts on our sleeve. And I thought the kids did a great job of doing that. But it was definitely cool to see a place packed. And then I've seen some pictures, throughout the week of the stadium, and it definitely is standing tall.
You think about this Poland Bulldogs team, a lot of athleticism on their side. They have some size,
Yeah.
but they've got a lot of swagger, as Poland always does.
Yeah.
Matchup-wise, how do you feel this year's team matches up to Poland? How do you stop them from earning the first NE8 victory at Rominger Stadium this coming Friday?
Yeah, I mean, they're really good on both sides of the ball. I think defensively, their structure is really similar to ours, which I guess is probably, I don't know if it benefits either team, but we're definitely familiar with what they're doing and vice versa. I think offensively, they're probably the closest to us in terms of what they do offensively from a style standpoint, at least around the league. I think they do a good job of trying to put you in some tough spots with conflicting reads, and then they do a good job of getting what Coach Saban would say hat plays. They're making you adjust to a lot of pullers and running backs that are getting out on the perimeter, so they do a good job there, and then they're obviously really skilled. I mean, they're I think the collective skill group is fast. They run the ball hard, and so far the defense has been really stingy, so we've definitely got our work cut out for us.
Still one of the weirdest schedules I've ever seen. I think we address it every single week. This week is senior night.
Yeah.
Week 6, senior night. Haven't been on the road yet. Talk about your seniors, what they've meant to the team, not only this week, but every week since their freshman year.
Yeah, they're a special group, and I think we knew kind of the day they walked in the door as ninth graders that they were a special group, and in terms of their talent level. But I think the one thing that's kind of stood out to me over the past 4 years is just the depth of their character, the way that they handle themselves in the community, off the field, the way they lead us, the way they're composed, they're poised, they're a mature group. I mean, I could go on and on about what they mean to us. I assume they're going to go down. We hope they go down as the winningest class in school history, which is amazing. And they've obviously they've played a lot of football already under some really bright lights, and really we haven't found a stage yet that was too big for them, and they've conducted themselves like champions, and I think they play like champions. So we're definitely proud of them. I know I speak on behalf of, I think, the whole community when I say how proud of those guys we are.
Couple questions off the field. You're in the school this year.
Yeah.
You're able to talk to some of these guys. Not only these guys, these student athletes that you see at the varsity level, but you're able to talk to some of the younger ones. What's that like for you? I mean, it's a complete change of pace for you, but that's got to be nice being able to kind of see how everybody is, their character, when they don't have pads on.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. I definitely like it. For one thing, they usually laugh at my jokes, whereas our kids are laughing at me. So that's definitely nice for me. But, no, it's just really cool to be, I guess ingrained in the school district or in the community as much as possible. Get to know these guys. And, I'm so excited. This freshman or our senior group, I've known them for 4 years, where some of the classes coming up, I'm going to have known them for 6 years or 7 years, seen them in the hallways and stuff. So definitely cool, and it's something that I'm really enjoying.
Or 12 years.
Yeah, right.
13 years.
Right.
All right, last question for you I've got, and it kind of relates to tonight, because if you look over there on that menu, there's a certain, item that is brand new to the menu tonight. It's called the Range Pizza. Would you happen to know anything about how this came to be?
Yeah, so it's actually, I think it's the Rangus.
Oh, the Rangus. I'm sorry.
So I have Ange Guerreri in class, and then Nikki Titus in class, and I said, guys, we got to get a pizza for the special. So we basically all picked some stuff that we liked, and we said now we have to have a name for it. And it might have been Nick Titus said, how about the Rangus? So we have Rock and Ange and Titus pizza.
I get it. The Rangus.
And
the
kids picked the ingredients. So it looks good. I told Julia to
what's
grab
on
one
it
for us. Oh man,
I can't wait for this.
So Guerreri said he wanted tomato pizza sauce.
Okay.
The red and green peppers were, I think might have been Titus. I was pepperoni. We got dollops of ricotta. That was another Titus special. Topped with mozzarella and provolone cheese, a sprinkle of Romano, baked to perfection.
Baked to perfection.
Us, yeah.
The Rangus Pizza, only here
Hopefully
at
we get good
Chiangela's.
reviews.
Hey,
I ordered it.
Put a trademark on that, man.
We might have to. It might be a hot seller.
It's going to be a hot seller. I'm taking one home with me tonight
There
for
you
sure. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Coach Dave Rock.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Go
sir.
Raiders.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, bud.